This woman was thrown out of her home and disinherited by her family after marrying this man. But 5 years later, her family would never believe what he did. Sophie is 24 years old and lives with an extremely wealthy family who have always ensured she lacked nothing. At present, Sophie is dating Oliver, a humble young man, and the love she feels for him is immense. However, she is deeply afraid to introduce Oliver to her parents, as they are known for being highly prejudiced and conservative. Sophie fears her family will not accept him. The couple wish to marry as soon as possible, since they are deeply in love. Given this, Sophie realizes she can no longer delay and decides it is time to tell her family about the relationship. She organizes a special dinner to introduce Oliver, but as soon as her family sees the young man, they all rise from the table with expressions of disgust. Sophie tries to calm them and explains that she truly loves Oliver, that she does not care about his financial situation. But her parents, trapped in their own prejudice, refuse to accept the situation. They force her to make a painful decision: either marry Oliver or remain with her family. They also make it clear that if she chooses Oliver, she will receive no further financial support and must consider herself disinherited. Even under all this pressure, Sophie chooses love and marries Oliver, moving with him to a small house by the sea. However, 2 years later, Sophie's parents receive a phone call from the police with devastating news about their daughter. Desperate, they get in the car and set off immediately to find out what happened. When they arrived at the hospital, they were told Sophie had been in a serious car accident on her way home from a charity event she had organized herself. She was in surgery but in a stable condition. They hadn't spoken to her in 2 years, not since she chose love over the wealth of her family. What they didn't know was that Sophie and Oliver had built a new life together. With almost nothing, they had created a small community project by the sea, helping families in need. Sophie had become well known locally for her kindness. Oliver had developed a small business that quietly funded their work, never seeking recognition. When her parents saw her, unconscious but alive, the weight of regret hit them hard. They had judged Oliver, cast Sophie out, and yet she had become everything they once hoped she'd be, without their help. Oliver, standing at her bedside, looked at them and said, "She never needed your money. She just needed your love." Sophie recovered, and whether she forgave them or not, she had proven something powerful. True love builds. True love endures. And you? Would you have had the courage to move forward like Sophie?